This is Jarrod Horak, and this is my latest Road to the Kentucky Oaks 2023 points race video in my series. I'm going to do the Demoiselle Stakes in this video. Last week I did the Goldenrod Stakes, and my top choice, Hoosier Filly, got the job done as the favorite. She was very impressive. She's one of, if not the best, 2-year-old filly in the country, and it's going to be exciting to see how she does next year. I think she's going to go to the Rachel Alexandra Stakes in her first start next year at the fairgrounds. So we'll see how she progresses from age 2 to 3, but she looks like a promising one. And then I also gave out the trifecta in that race. So I had a good outcome in that Goldenrod Stakes, and let's see if we can get another winner in this video for the Demoiselle Stakes. Now, the Demoiselle Stakes, trainer Todd Pletcher, he saddled the winner of this race 7 times, including back-to-back wins with Malathot in 2020 and Nest in 2021, his 2 champion fillies. And now Malathot's full sister is going to run in this race in the 2022 Demoiselle Stakes. We'll see how she ends up doing in this spot. Now, if you're interested in my full card analysis from Del Mar, this is closing week for their Bing Crosby season. December 2nd, 3rd, and 4th will be their final 3 days. And if you're interested in any of those full cards, you can find those at the runawayhorse.com on my sales page. Let's get into the analysis of the 2022 Demoiselle Stakes. Saturday, December 3rd at Aqueduct. It's going to be the Grade 2, $250,000 Demoiselle Stakes for 2-year-old fillies, 1 mile and an eighth on the main track. It's going to be scheduled as the 6th race with a scheduled post time of 2:16 p.m. Eastern Time. Foggy Night is number 1. And from that inside post, it's probably going to try the wire the field. Now, she ran well in all 4 starts. In her 3 sprint races at 5.5 furlongs, 6.5 furlongs, and a 1-turn mile, she finished 2nd in all 3 of those races. Her lone start around 2 turns, mile and 70 yards at Parks in the fall, and that was her 3rd career start after 2 sprints. She stretched out, she got up on the lead, she was challenged, she shrugged off the challengers, and she ran away and won by 11 lengths geared down. So that was a strong effort that day. And then the Tempted Stakes, that 1-turn mile last time, she was clearly second best. So getting back out around 2 turns, Paco Lopez, who rode her in her last 2 starts, is going to stay aboard. And I think she's one that if she can get out there and get into a good rhythm, she could be tough to catch. She's a big filly. It looks like she wants to go 2 turns. She's got that big stride. And if she can get out there and get into a good rhythm, the rest could be in trouble. Number 2, Royal Spa, is a second-time starter, coming off of a last-to-first debut victory from the outside post. That was at Churchill Downs at 6.5 furlongs. So that was a nice effort, and she earned a decent late pace rating. But now stepping up to face winners for the first time, having to go from 6.5 furlongs to 9 furlongs. We'll see how she ends up doing. And she's one that has a lot of potential, and we'll see where she stands at this point. Can she go this far at this point of her career, just her 2nd career start? Same thing could be said for Julia Shining, number 3. Now, this is the one that I mentioned. This is Malathot's sister. Curlin is the sire. Dreaming of Julia is the dam, and then AP Indy, the dam sire. So it has that Malathot blood, and Malathot could certainly go all day, and 1 mile and an eighth was one of her best distances. And for this filly, she started at 7 furlongs, at the about 7 furlong distance at Keeneland on October 16th. That's 7 furlongs, 184 feet. And in that race, 12-horse field, she broke in post 4. She broke okay, and then she was climbing and she was racing wide early. She probably didn't like the dirt being kicked in her face. She was a little bit green, but she put it together. She kind of figured out during the race what she was supposed to be doing, and she put in a nice run. She went from 9th to 1st pretty quickly, and she opened up in the stretch, and then she won by almost 3 lengths. So that was a good effort as the betting favorite that day. And now they're going to throw her right into a stakes race. And we know Pletcher, as I said, he's won this race 7 times, including the last 2 years. So he knows what kind of filly it takes to win a race like this at this point during the 2-year-old season. And she's one that I think she'll probably not be as far back early this time. She was, like I said, she was climbing early. And then the runner-up from her last start did flatter her and win her next start. And Luis Saez rode in the debut, and he will ride back here. La Vita Sofia is the next one for trainer Rudy Rodriguez. This one's a daughter of Cross Traffic, and she's run 3 times. And her best effort by far was her maiden win, and that was in the Slop, a race originally scheduled for the turf, run on a wet main track at Aqueduct on October 1st. She stuck the pace. She won by 3 lengths. Now, there is a chance of rain at Aqueduct for Saturday. Right now, it's Wednesday, November 30th, so still a few days before this race will run. But I checked the early weather forecast. There is a chance of rain at Aqueduct, and I guess this filly's probably hoping for a wet track. She was in the Tempted last time out. the same race Foggy Night exits, and she was fourth, beaten 11 lengths that day. Affirmative Lady is a maiden for trainer Graham Motion. She rallied to finish a decent third in her debut. That was at 6 furlongs at Keeneland, probably just ran out of ground there. And then she was an okay fourth, rallying from off the pace in a 12-horse field from post 10, second time out at Keeneland at 7 furlongs. So not a bad effort there. And she did earn a better number second time out. So I like this angle, 2 sprints to a route. And I also like the pedigree here. Arrogant is the sire. Her dam was a stakes winner around 2 turns on the main track. And then Stephen got even, the dam sire. So she's got a lot of pedigree to go 2 turns on the top and the bottom. And she was a $400,000 purchase. And John Velasquez sticks aboard. And she could be a live long shot in here. Gambling Girl with Irad Ortiz Jr. and Todd Pletcher. This one, she is a stakes winner against New York bred company, and she looked good in back-to-back wins in her career, breaking her maiden by 10 lengths at Saratoga, and then in a local stakes race against New York bred company, she stalked the pace and she won that one at 7 panels. And then 1 mile around 1 turn in the Maid of the Mist Stakes last time, she was fourth, beaten 15 lengths. So she's going to need to run a bit much better than she did last time if she expects to threaten this group. Tribal Queen is one that could end up impacting the pace for trainer Tony Dutrow. This one is a daughter of Bolt Doro, and she's one that they paid $140,000 for, and she was second in her career debut. Not a bad effort as the favorite. That was 5.5 furlongs. And then second time out at Saratoga, she ended up finishing way up the track. She just didn't run well that day after setting the pace. And then a race originally scheduled for the turf, run at 6 furlongs on the dirt track last time at Aqueduct. She dueled on the lead. She took over. She won by a bit less than 3 lengths at 7-1 odds. So now she's going to stretch out in distance in her second start after a layoff. She's going to have to run much faster. She didn't earn a strong speed rating in that off-the-turf sprint last time out. And then from the outside post as well, she's going to have to step it up. I think she can impact the pace, but I think that's probably as far as it goes for her. Now, looking at the main contenders in this race, I think it's between Foggy Night, who could end up setting the pace, and then Julia Shining, Todd Pletcher's highly regarded filly. And I'm going to go with Julia Shining as my top choice in here. I liked Ness last year in this race, and she was impressive. I was a fan of Malathot as well, and I said Pletcher's won this race many times, so he knows what kind of filly it takes to win a race like this, and I think that she's probably going to end up running a good race in here. But Foggy Night will be my second choice. I think she's got a decent shot as well. And then Affirmative Lady will be my third choice. So how I'll play this one, I'll make a win wager on Julia Shining. I'll play an exacta with the 1 Foggy Night and the Julia Shining on top. And then I'll throw in the 5 Affirmative Lady in the second spot. So that exacta will be 1 and 3 with 1, 3, 5. And then a trifecta, I'll put the 1 and 3 on top. I'll put all in second. And then I'll key number 5, Affirmative Lady, in third. So that'll wrap up my analysis of the Demoiselle Stakes. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment if you like this content. I'll be back and I'll do the Remsen Stakes on my Road to the Kentucky Derby video series for my next video this week. Then next week I'll be doing the Starlet Stakes from Los Alamitos Racecourse. Until I see you next time, good luck at the races.